Hi, I'm Fraser Douglas, the avid tent camper, and today I want to give you a tour of Tannehill Ironworks State Historic Park. It's a beautiful week in March 2016, and so Abe and I decided to drive down here and camp out for a few days. Tannehill Ironworks Historical State Park is located about 25 miles southwest of Birmingham, Alabama, and encompasses 1,500 acres plus another 500 acres owned by Forever Wild. It is managed as a historic park by the Alabama State Department of Conservation. It is one of the best tent camping destinations in the state. The entrance drive into the park resembles the road from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee into Gatlinburg. It's a wooded road that winds along the edge of Mud Creek. On the other side of the creek is the park exit road. At the end of the short drive, you enter the Central Park area. It's a small wooded cove set along the banks of Mud and Mill Creeks, with hundreds of pine and sweet gum trees, and surrounded by small, heavily wooded hills. Once in the cove, you will notice numerous restored historic buildings. For example, this old home serves as one of several rental cabins. This old building serves as the campground registration station and country store. These historic homes are used to demonstrate old arts and craft techniques on weekends. In total, the park has 54 historic buildings. Recreational activities within the park include exploring historic buildings, touring the Iron and Steel Museum, walking to the furnace area, exploring the Pioneer Farm and grist mill area, hiking and biking over 16 miles of trails, and riding bikes on park roads. The park has many visitors on weekdays, but many more on weekends, especially on the third weekend of each month, when Trade Days is held in the Farley Field area. Several events are scheduled during the spring, summer, fall camping season, draw hundreds of visitors, but the biggest event is Halloween. Over 200 families claim their campsites as much as 2 weeks ahead for this event. The park has 5 camping areas. Sites cannot be reserved ahead of time. They can only be claimed on a first-come basis. Campground 1 is a full hookup area with about 50 sites that stays almost full for most of the camping season. It also has a nice bathhouse. Campground 2 is a small loop with about 35 sites, and Campground 3 is a larger loop with about 130 sites and a nice bathhouse. Here are some photos of the bathhouse and laundry area. The primitive area has about 75 very nice tent sites, but no bathhouse. About 20 of these sites are located along the banks of Mill Creek, and another 25 have water and electricity hookups. Overflow campsites are located in the Farley Field area and in other parts of the park. In total, the park has over 60 overflow sites. Now here is our campsite in the primitive area. We do have water and electricity, and I'll just walk around and show you our campsite. Generally, we like to set our campsite up in this configuration. Our tent is in the very back of the campsite. Then we have our kitchen canopy and a cooking area. And then we have our car backed up to the kitchen canopy. And over to the left, we have a little campfire for cooking and providing a little warmth and comfort. We've got a campfire going. Once the coals burn down, we'll cook some carne asada. They didn't have a splitting block in this campsite, and so I have my own piece of wood that I use for splitting firewood. We've got our chairs. I've been sitting by the fire, and there's our cooking area and our dining area. This is our REI Kingdom 4 that we just bought on eBay and got a pretty good deal on it. We always leave our cooler and food in the car and don't bring it into the campsite, and whatever we need to cook with, we'll just bring those individual items to the food preparation area. Here's our food preparation area, and you'll see we've got our plates, bowls, frying pan, and other pans. Over on the right side, that's a milk crate turned on its side. We've got a Coleman propane stove that we frequently do not use, but it's nice to have in case it rains or an emergency. And then we've got our extra propane cylinders here. We've got our cooking utensils. We've got our cups and glasses. And we've got our spices in a little box up on the top of that milk crate. Here's the inside of our tent. This is a 4-person tent, but it's plenty large for 2 adults and 2 or 3 children. That's Ava. That's trying to get a nap while I'm trying to bother her. And you'll see that's my sleeping area right there. Sometimes we bring sleeping bags. Other times we bring wool blankets. On this particular trip, we decided to bring our wool blankets. This is kind of what the campground looks like in early March, but they tell me in Halloween the campground is completely filled. Actually, they tell me that 2 weeks before Halloween the campground completely fills, including all of the overflow area. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Tannehill Ironworks Historic State Park, and I hope that you'll consider this as a possible destination anytime you're in the central Alabama area. For more information about basic tent camping, please visit my website, www.basictentcamping.com, and read my recent book titled Basic Tent Camping. Remember, take more trips, travel further, visit more attractions, and save money. Go tent camping.